Nürburgring is celebrating its 90th anniversary this year, and in the early days of motoring 90 years ago, a racetrack always used to be a test track at the same time.
Yeah.
Racing used to be part of car development, and racing drivers very often were engineers who tested their own development cars under toughest conditions. For Nürburgring Nordschleife, this is still the case, although all the manufacturers nowadays have their own test facilities with highly sophisticated development labs. Why is it? Why do they still come?
Yeah, I agree your meaning, because the last 20 years I was here as a test pilot from Porsche, and I can tell you, if you want to make a perfect car, you have to come to Nürburgring, because you can find all conditions. It's some ditches, some compression, then outside hanging roads, inside hanging roads, then 22 kilometers long up and down. If you want to make a perfect suspension for a car, you have to come here on Nürburgring. And I can tell you, even 30 years ago, Porsche was the first factory to have a test center here. In the meantime, all brands are back and all are the same meaning. The only perfect test road in the world is Nürburgring Nordschleife.
Walter, Jackie Stewart respectfully named the Nürburgring Nordschleife the Green Hell, and other drivers talk about it as the most challenging track in the world. What is your view as a rally driver who is used to drive a car on the limit on gravel or ice, sometimes even without knowing the course of the road?
Yeah, I can tell you, if all racetracks around the world would be on the same level like Nürburgring Nordschleife, I could be a race driver who likes racing very much. But it's a unique racetrack, it's the only one. And in rally driving, you know, it's no space for mistakes. And nearly the same is here on Nordschleife. And that shows really who is a good driver. That's the reason I like it very much, and I am sure Jackie Stewart says the same. It's dangerous, but here only the best one can win.
It's challenging, yes. Walter, you work for Porsche, testing and developing new cars.
Yeah.
This 911 looks different. It looks like a classic car. So what is so special about this one?
Yeah, normally testing modern cars is my normal profession, my work. This is more or less is hobby for me. This is a car from 1978, and it's completely rebuilt with original spare parts, which is really important, from a good quality, and it's up to a standard which can be nearly like a modern car, even if all is made with original spare parts. And for rallying, we have a lot of fun because this car is still very strong. We have a very stable car with a good traction, with the engine in the back like it was 40 years ago. And it's a lot of fun to sitting in a car like this, like I have done today here on the Nürburgring Nordschleife.
So that means the car is restored, but with original parts to original specifications.
I think which is a really important part, that the car must be in an original condition like it has been 40 years ago.
The Porsche 911 has been constantly developed over more than 50 years now. What are the most significant differences between this car and a modern 911?
Yeah, it's 50 years development, it has changed a lot, but the biggest difference is here in this car you have no electronic help at all. It's only up to you as a driver if it's good on the road or not. The modern cars have a lot of electronic, which is really helpful in driving. It's very easy. If you make a mistake, the electric helps you to come back. That is the biggest difference. But in the meantime, it's the same concept like it was 50 years ago. Engine in the back, and in front you have only a bonnet for your luggage. But in the meantime, it is very easy to drive for everybody, and it doesn't feel any difference to a front engine car because it's turning in perfectly, it's very stable, neutral, not understeering, not oversteering. That is 50 years consequent development, and it has changed quite a lot, even if the concept is the same.
So to separate the men from the kids, you would go for this car?
Absolutely. This was the 911 for men. Today everybody can drive it.
FIFA is the World Federation protecting, preserving and promoting world motoring heritage.
Yeah.
As a regular participant in historic rallies, historic venues, what is the special charm or special thrill for you?
First of all, I have to say thank you that FIFA is existing, because they give me the security that I can use my old cars maybe for the future on the open road, because they are taking care that we get permission to use this car on the open road. And for this reason I like to talk to these people, to help them, that they are continuing the work to promote that it is a historic culture thing. We have to try that in the future we can show our children what we have done 50 years ago with these cars.
FIFA has been working for more than 50 years now for the historic vehicle scene, mostly behind the curtain, covering a broad spectrum including the FIFA ID card, the worldwide only certificate documenting historic vehicles regarding their condition and authenticity, preservation of traditional materials and skills, exemptions for the use of historic vehicles on public roads today, and last but not least, get young people attracted, get them involved in the historic vehicle scene. What would be your priority?
I think maybe it's 3 points. First of all, they have to make a little bit pressure to the car industry, to the brands, that they are taking care that we get proper, good quality, original spare parts. That is a main reason. Second, that they are trying to get the permission that we can use this car on open road for the next 20 or 30 years. And the third point for sure is to bring it, the young people, to get interest on these old cars, that we are not, if we are one day died, nobody has interesting on these old cars. We have to bring the young people to get interest on these cars. These 3 points, that is a really important work for FIFA.
FIFA is getting more and more support by professional stakeholders who are also engaged in the historic vehicle scene. Pirelli is one of our partners, and Porsche is member of FIFA. Together, Pirelli and Porsche developed a new range, a dedicated range of classic car tires for Porsche cars. And you were strongly involved in this program.
Yeah, that's right. I was very happy that we bring these both companies together, Porsche and Pirelli. On one side, our customers from Porsche ask, what is the right tire for my historic car? And second, I want to be safe that I get for my historic 911s and 356 the right tires. And that was really a big luck for me that I could make this testing and developing new tires which make these old cars driving nearly like modern cars, because the tire opens new dimension, and I'm very happy that we have this new Pirelli tires for our old cars.
Walter Röhrl, a rally hero with great passion for the historic vehicle movement.
Yeah.
The entire scene highly appreciates your support. Thank you for joining us today at the Nürburgring, and hope to see you at one or the other classic vehicle event.
For sure, we will see us, and I have done it. It was a pleasure for me to do something for the historic fans of cars, and I had a lot of fun doing 3 laps on the Nordschleife with this beautiful old car.
Thank you, Walter.
You're welcome.